Hello everybody, welcome to Scent Inc. My name is Ollie, your slime overlord, and welcome to the speed paint video. In this video, I'll be drawing more of my Love Knot characters. One day I want to make a comic with them, and I might. I just have to work on comic thing, or maybe find a friend who does comic panel stuff and help me with it. But I doubt that'll ever happen. um, so today we'll be talking about character design and art styles. And what I mean by that is I'm sick and tired of people redesigning characters just because they think the original design is just bad design. And I don't like that because art is subjective, fashion is subjective, everyone likes what they like, and it's always an opinion. You can't say something is definitively bad because you don't like it. Because there will be people out there that like it. Like, some people adore beginner art because I think it gives them a sense of nostalgia that makes them adore it and think it's adorable. Because I see a lot of artists react that way to beginner artists. You have like so much more enthusiasm than I do, even though I love it when artists start out, and I think I think they should continue and not give up and never look at anything negatively about themselves or compare themselves to other artists. So like that's the part I like anyway, because like we all like beginner artists. But my whole point stands is like I see people critiquing art styles, saying how designs are bad. A good example of this is Has-Been Hotel. There are a lot of people who hated on the redesigns, which I don't really know why. I like them. I like them a lot, actually. Especially seeing them in the recent things that came out lately, in the actual animation. I'm like, oh, it's great. And then there's people who are critiquing the actual art style. And I don't think critique should go to an art style unless you know they're going for something very specific. For example, if someone is trying to do realism and they're struggling at certain points, that's when you give them a little bit of positive critique in the right direction so they can work on getting to the point that they want to. But most of the time, when you see an artist, especially one that's been around for a very long time, they're not usually looking for critique on their style. No, if anything, like, for example, for me, if I struggle with layering hair at a certain point, I struggle with hands at certain angles, and I have yet to try to draw perspective, and I struggle with expressions, and I'm still learning. If someone gave me positive critique in that direction, that might actually help it click, then I would appreciate it. But that's the most. If someone said, I don't like the way you do colors or whatnot, or how you color your eyes or something, I don't know. Anything like that I am not going to change unless I find a way that I like better. It would be just very damaging mentally. And just because you don't like someone's art style doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not for you, and you should go find an artist that you do like. And it's just that simple. It's really not that hard, guys. I don't know why it's so difficult to do that for some people. Because, yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. There are certain points in the art community where it can be beneficial to let certain people know. For example, beginner artists who trace a lot of bases and are not sure how to do it properly. I went through that phase myself a long time ago, and I was never told on how to correctly give credit. So, it's unfortunate. um, it's because I didn't understand that was a thing. I just thought bases on Google were just like, yeah, I can use this and nobody cares. kind of thing. But yeah, that's like an educational thing on how the art community works and how to avoid accidentally stealing art or using something illegally. Um, that's a different thing. But the whole thing with like character redesigns lately is pissing me off. I am so tired and tired of people saying, "Oh, their whole design is just ugly. It's really bad," or whatnot. I'm like, ugh. Like, I think the only case I could agree on is with Musa from Winx Club. Her beginning design, I loved it because supposed to be a tomboy, but she became very feminine as it went on. Then again, I'm pretty sure the part of her story was she acted tomboyish because she was raised by her dad, and she didn't know how to feel in touch and confident with her feminine side. And I think when she became more feminine, or like started dressing more feminine and everything, was an inner way coming out of her shell. I think if that's the case, then I don't hate the like the designs at all. Um, it's just it depends. Is she an actual tomboy, or was that just a part of her character's past? I don't know. Another example of this is Marinette from Miraculous Ladybug. Is everybody is trying to redesign her, saying like trying to make her Marinette actually fashionable, and she's an aspiring fashion designer. But that doesn't mean she has to dress trendy or dress glam or dress in these pretty clothes. Most fashion designers out there, or especially aspiring ones, prefer to just work in a t-shirt and sweats and simple clothes. Marinette is someone who seems to enjoy wearing simpler clothes in more ways than one, like her character design, and that should be a given. I am tired of people saying that her designs are bad, even in her super outfit. It's what she is wearing for herself, not what she's designing for other people. There's a big difference. Like, you go to like me, and I if I designed like an amazing dress and you're just like, are you gonna wear this? Because it would look really good on you. I'll be like, no, I don't wear dresses or skirts. I just like designing them. I like the idea of them. I would never wear them because I don't like them. I don't like wearing them. It's like that. It's like expecting someone to wear the clothes that they design, even though those designs are specifically made for other people and what other people might like a certain like style that some others like, rather than themselves. And fashion sense is subjective. I don't think there's such a bad I don't think there's such a thing as bad fashion sense because it's subjective. I like a lot of clothes, but I would never wear a lot of them. Just because somebody likes something doesn't mean they have to wear them. Um, and there was an example of this I had in my head. Where did it go? I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. I don't know. It was like, yeah, okay. So fashion is subjective just as much as art style and art in general. Um, just because you don't like something or you find something ugly doesn't mean everybody's going to think it's ugly. It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it's not for you. Same with the art style, right? And that's how I feel about like all fashion from any era. I like fashion in most eras actually, early 2000s, 80s, etc., etc. So I'm tired of people saying that outfits are outdated or they just like or whatever. It's like, so what if it's outdated to you or what most modern people like? That person just might like it instead. Like, buzz off, man. Just because somebody draws a character with an older kind of like style, like early 2000s, rather than uh um 2022 or something, doesn't mean it's bad and that it needs to be changed, because that's probably just what that character likes. I mean, I like early 2000s. I think, I never thought wearing skirts with legging pants or short shorts with legging pants as a bad thing. I thought it was actually pretty practical for people who like those clothes and are maybe self conscious of their legs. Or it's winter and it's cold, but they still would like to wear them. I don't think it's dumb. I don't. I like layering clothes. I don't think there's such a bad thing as bad fashion sense. If you guys can share some fashion, and if I actually manage to say that it's bad, well, that'll be a miracle in of it itself, because I'm very open-minded to most. Doesn't mean I'll wear it, but I can see why people would like certain things. Like, what's a good example? I can't think at the top of my head, but I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's subjective. I mean, that just counter. I just countered. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Let me gather my thoughts. I don't think fashion sense or art style can be actually bad. It's subjective. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. And that's what applies to character design. If you don't like it, go to something that you do like. It's not that hard. Okay? You don't have to try to critique people for liking something that they made. Like, move on. Get out. um, I just am tired of seeing like the toxicity and the problematic behavior and people trying to make something problematic when it doesn't need to be. Another good example is like anytime when people say they redesign and rewrite, they always age up characters a lot just because of the fashion sense that that character enjoys. Like, if they like wearing crop tops or shorty shorts and they're teenagers, they try to age them up to college because they think that's better. And I'm like, no, believe it or not, there are teenagers out there who do actually like wearing that stuff. Middle schoolers even. Like, unless, like, the only time I think like anybody would change like an actual character's fashion sense even a little bit compared to what they enjoy, um, is, I don't know, if the place they go to has a dress code against that, then that's a different thing entirely. I don't, I don't know. It's just really dumb to me about how everyone says, I don't know, Stella's outfits is too revealing for being a teenager. She's not an earthling. I think their rules about what is revealing is probably very different, and I don't think that is our business. She likes wearing what she likes. Move on. If it, and here's where I think the problematic comes from those things. It's not the actual design that's problematic. It's the people who react to it in a problematic way, like predators, for example. that is that is a whole thing. It is not the people who are the problem. It's the people who are making it a problem. It's a problem. They're the problem. Uh, I hope that made sense, because that hurt my brain. Point stands is like, you wear what you want whenever you want. Just avoid the people that are making it weird, okay? Like, that make it weird, you know? Like, if you're a teenager who likes to wear corsets and a lot of black and lace, odds are of you being called a slut by somebody on the street is pretty high. I had a friend who went through that, so yeah, avoid those people. They're the problem. You're not. You can relax. That is just how I see it. Unless it was like an actual like legitimate like child in like single digits, in like early middle school and everything, then yeah, I could see it being a problem. Because why? Most parents would usually not let their kids wear certain things. But then as soon as they get to the age where they start wearing what they want, I don't think it should matter. It's so if you're looking at like, I don't know, Stella, and you're thinking about, I don't know, her cleavage or something, then maybe you're the problem. Because I've never once thought about anything like that growing up, or even now. It never comes across my mind when I look at a character who wears a crop top or something. I'm just like, oh, that's a cool character design, and then move on. I don't. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's just how I feel. I don't like the rewrites because like when I see the rewrites, most people try to say that their story is better, that they could write it better, and I'm like, you don't need to do that. Just say it's an alternate universe. Say it's something like that. Like if you were writing it, this is how I'd write it, and do it for fun, not because you think you can do it better. That's how I also feel about the redesign. Vilder Art is a good example of this. Vilder Art only does redesign videos because they think it's fun, but not because they think they can do it better, and etc. They do it because they think it's fun, and they only do it for fun. They don't expect everyone to jump on board and think their designs are better than the originals or anything, you know? Like a lot of people who do redesigns. I will put a link to their channel in the description because I like their videos and their art style. It's cool. But yeah, so I think that's like all the points I wanted to get at. Stop bashing on Has Been Hotel art style. If it's not for you, move on. Stop saying you can design something better just or whatever because that you're not the original creator. If you're going to redesign or rewrite anything, make sure you say it's like your own ideal alternate universe. It's kind of like, for example, if I did that, it probably more characters would be LGBT if I did that with anything. I don't know. And yeah. And if you're going to give any critique to help someone along their art style journey, make sure it's positive critique and not saying anything negative about the actual art. Just say it could be, you could do this if you want, and it's their choice on whether or not they want to take that advice. Practice positive critique. Stop being negative. Stop making problems where there shouldn't be. And we will all be kumbaya in no time. Maybe. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching, and enjoy the rest of this drawing of Teresa, and I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye!